Good afternoon and thank you very much for joining us on Social Reports. I am Oyewumi Ayinigbara. Candidates for the Ondo State House of Assembly election under the platform of the All Progressives Congress have emerged. The primary election, where 26 candidates emerged, was organized across the state. In Akure South Constituency 2, 25 delegates accredited from 5 wards voted for their preferred candidate. The 2 candidates, Mr. Stephen Abitogun, who is the current vice chairman of Akure South, and Mr. Emmanuel Oyebode, were vying for the ticket in the APC primary election in Akure. The electoral officer, Dr. Jemilui, said though there was each at the onset of the process, consensus between the aspirants gave a nod for the continuation of the election. Having counted the votes, Dr. Jemilui declared Mr. Abitogun Oluwarotimi Stephen winner of the poll after polling 17 votes, while his rival Emmanuel Oyebode polled 7 votes. The situation was also Oluwani Borokini with 16 votes was declared winner.
It's equal to 17. Total votes cast for Honorable Oyebode Emmanuel is equal to 7. The winner of the election is Honorable Abitogun Stephen.
My victory, is a divine arrangement and support from the leadership of the party, who have considered my person has been eligible, eminently qualified to represent Akure South Constituency 2 in the Ondo State House of Assembly.
I said it myself here. Many of you never want sorry. The situation was also rowdy at Akure Constituency 1. Calm was, however, restored as Mr. Toluwani Borokini, with 16 votes, was declared winner by the chairman of the electoral process, Baba Yemi Kayode. Wale Oke had 5 votes, Stephen Olatunde polled 2 votes, while Vincent Oyetunde, Oluwatosin Jimo, Olabanji Akinyele, and Bosun Ogunleye had no votes. The election was simultaneously held across the 26 constituencies of the state. Meanwhile, the atmosphere at the Akure airport is carnival-like as top government functionaries led by Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, including party faithful, political associates, and market women converged to receive the national leader of the All Progressives Congress APC and presidential hopeful, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The former governor of Lagos State is in the Sunshine State as his campaign team canvasses votes from delegates ahead of the APC presidential primary election billed for Abuja this weekend. Also, the All Progressives Congress, the lawmaker representing Akoko Northeast Northwest Federal Constituency in the lower chamber of the National Assembly, Olubunmi Tunjiojo, says he has drawn a blueprint that would industrialize his constituency. Mr. Tunjiojo, who is seeking a re-election into the lower chamber of the platform of the All Progressives Congress, APC, made the statement during a visit to his constituency ahead of the party's primaries elections.
A rousing welcome from supporters of the lawmaker representing Akoko Northeast Northwest Federal Constituency in the lower chamber of the National Assembly, Olubunmi Tunjiojo. Bunmi Tunjiojo, an incumbent in the House of Representatives, is eyeing the ticket of his party, the All Progressives Congress (APC), to run for a second term, and these supporters are rooting for his emergence as the candidate of the party. Ecstatic with the warm reception, Tunji Ojo reaffirmed his commitment to ensuring Akoko land is the envy of all. He called on party faithful to vote wisely and not be swayed by financial inducements. The chairman of APC in Akoko Northeast, Mr. Saliu Olanriwaju, and the special advisor to Ondo State Governor on Environment, Mr. Niyo Seni, implored party faithful to see that Tunji Ojo clinches the party's candidature in the primaries.
We are seeing his work and working. We are sending him, he has the capacity and ability to represent our. So since we are seeing that he's working, is giving us a courage, and everybody in this constituency are happy.
The Congress are led to the emergence of our delegates. Is consensus and people really embrace the outcome of it. For that, we expect a very peaceful primaries. We are all in accord, and there's no dissenting group in our party.
The All Progressives Congress has fixed Saturday, the 28th of May 2022 for the primary of the House of Representatives.
At the Accra Airport is carnival-like as top government functionaries led by Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, including party faithful, political associates and market women, converged to receive the national leader of the All Progressives Congress APC and presidential hopeful Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The former governor of Lagos State is in the Sunshine State as his campaign team canvasses votes from delegates ahead of the APC presidential primary election built for Abuja this weekend.
The next president.
Excellent.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir.
There is the welcoming of the former governor of Lagos State and also the national leader of the All Progressives Congress APC and presidential hopeful Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has reaffirmed his commitment to attracting more investors into the state for economic growth. Flagging off the OJB oil plantation farms of 10,000 hectares in Ore, Odigbo local government area of the state, Governor Akeredolu said he's working towards leaving the state better than he met it. On Morning Online, Beji reports that top government functionaries, royal fathers from Ikale Odigbo Axis, and representative of CBN Governor Emefiele also graced the event.
Despite current vitality in the agricultural sector, demand for palm oil globally remains strong. The global market for palm oil projected at $57.2 billion by 2026 informed the need for the investment, especially when opportunity thrives. Governor of Ondo State, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, said since he assumed office, about 70,000 hectares of land have been given to 7 companies for oil palm plantation out of 100,000 hectares in the forest reserves of the state, commending the managing director of JB Farms, Jibola Adebutu, For the monumental achievement, Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu maintained that the event marked a giant stride in his administration's quest for a green and sustainable economy, job creation, industrial development, and enhanced internally generated revenue, while reiterating his commitment to the promotion of oil palm, cocoa, cashew, rubber, and coffee. The governor said he would not relent in his desire to make the state the #1 producer of cocoa and oil palm.
We are projected to span a total land area of 10,000 hectares, and I think and more. This is just the first one, but I believe it's more than that, particularly when we realize the effect of having this farm here. It's not easy to know now. Less than 3 years to go. So the benefit will come so many years after. So for us, we are doing something for the future, not for now. It's for the future.
Governor Akeredolu frowned at the attitudes of some stakeholders sabotaging government's effort at developing Okitipupa Oil Company, wants them to retrace their steps and attract more investors to bring back the lost glory of the area.
All of us must come together to think about how to take that. A plantation of 15,000 hectares, 10,000 already. Dairy farm I just started, less than 2,000. Look at what we see on the field and see what we can do. At least to bring Okitipupa farm back.
Managing Director of JB Farms, Ajibola Adebutu, who said the program started in Ogun State about 25 years ago, lauded Governor Akeredolu for the opportunity to invest in Ondo State, saying many states were approached, but Ondo State opened its arms without requesting for any inducement.
The journey has been interesting so far. There have been challenges, but by the grace of God, we've been able to surmount them. And we pray that very soon we'll come back for another program where the whole estate will be developed and we'll be dedicating a 60-ton per hour mill.
JB Farms, which has been in operation for 25 years in Ogun State, began operation in Ondo State about 15 months ago. Omoriola Humbeji, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, over 40,000 indirect employment is expected to be generated through the palm oil revolution agenda in Ondo State. This is predicated on the establishment of the new farm at Ore. Senior Special Assistant to Governor Akeredolu on Agric and Agribusiness, Akin Olotu, while speaking at the flag of ceremony of JB Farms Ore oil plant plantation at Odigbo local government area of the state, maintained that the development will be an economic boost for the axis. Omoriola Humbeji again has the report.
In the past, Ondo State was ranked high in oil palm plantation in the country, with Okitipupa Oil Palm Plantation Company founded in the Second Republic by the administration of late Michael Adekunle Ajashin to serve as a veritable vehicle of employment. The company, which has since been left in the care of few citizens, was revisited by Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. This, no doubt, is beginning to yield positive results with the emergence of over 7 investors currently harnessing the opportunity across the state, one of which is JB Farms with 10 hectares of oil palm plantation in Ore.
The rainbow project of Mr. Governor Arakuni Oluwarotimi Akeredolu is repositioning Ondo State, not just for now, but in the coming years. Globally, three sources of oil in the global market: soya, sunflower, oil palm. This is where we have comparative advantage, and you have succeeded in making Ondo State to take the rightful position.
Other stakeholders who spoke at the event, including the Chief Executive Officer of the Ondo State Development and Investment Promotion Agency, ONDIPA, Mr. Boye Oyewumi, described the occasion as a giant stride.
We are very happy that you are here. We know that you'll be a catalyst for many other investors. At just since time, had 5 industries, and we're clapping, we're happy. When we came in, the only thing that was there was ShopRite. Now, we have on this strip alone about 8,000 jobs. The president came here one day to flag off 5 industries, not foundation laying, industries that were already operating. Not be appreciated, not now. When the umbrella is getting so large, we would have long left, but the legacies will remain.
And I can tell you, Ondo State is blessed. If with just 10,000 hectares, let's take 1,500 they are cultivating today, multiply it by 5. If one employed staff, whether skilled or unskilled, has 4 children and a wife, that's 5. Multiply it by the number of homes. That will give you almost 50,000 homes will be off the government purse.
The additional oil palm plantations are situated across the 3 senatorial districts of the state. Omoriola Hungwiji, Osrc News.
In the meantime, the Senior Special Assistant to Governor Akeredolu on Agric and Agribusiness, Akin Olotu, has dismissed as untrue the allegation that he extorted farmers of Ofosu Onisheri of Idori Forest Reserves. Olotu, in a chat with journalists in Akure, said the allegation was a deliberate attempt to blackmail him and rubbish his reputation and the estimation of right-thinking members of the public. An Akure-based lawyer, Tokpe Temboko, had petitioned Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu on behalf of 10,000 farmers occupying the forest reserves, accusing the governor's aid of collecting illegal levies from the farmers through the Ondo State Agribusiness Empowerment Center, Osrc. Olotu said, contrary to the allegation from the lawyer, he never collected any money from the farmers aside the annual rent of 10,000 naira between 2019 and 2021 to the state government through the State Internal Revenue Service. Olotu, who said the lawyer should have done his investigation before making such allegation and distributing such to press, says he is ready to be penalized if the government finds the allegation to be untrue. Right.
They said Olotu demanded that all farmers should make payment of 6,000 each for recapturing, which was duly paid for. To whom? Where? According to this letter, they are annual tenants. And the position of the state government is that nobody, this is for 2021, they received, they paid. So they are not tenants in 2022. Where the money was paid to, the receipt is here, Internal Revenue Services. It's only to preside over Internal Revenue Services. So what is my business with this? Now, the letter we issued out, the letter that came from my agency, it was clearly stated here. List of 1,420 hectares of land at Idori Forest Reserve. This was in November 2021. Everything was, when Board of Internal Revenue did the capturing, they came out with their figure. And they came, we said, okay, go and pay to the state, to the Board of Internal Revenue, which they did. I will discuss with the lawyer and I will equally discuss with my principal. Ordinarily, my first reaction is to take them to court. That they should come and prove all they have written here in the law court. But I am under someone. So, and I'm saying it openly. If I have a hand in the 6,000, 5,000, and the issue of 3,000, I'm even saying it now, I want to be dismissed. If it is proved that I collected 3,000, or I instructed somebody to collect 3,000, or I collected 6,000.
While urging the public to disregard the publication, told the lawyer and the journalist who published the story to retract it or be ready to face the consequences. Wife of the Ondo State Governor, Mrs. Betty Ayanwa Akeredolu, has stressed the importance of the family in finding lasting solutions to societal challenges. Mrs. Ayanwa Akeredolu spoke at a program organized by the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development in commemoration of this year's International Day of Families. The governor's wife called on Nigerian families to embark on sustained vigilance to bring to an end the current challenges facing the nation. The theme for the 2022 International Day of Families is Families and Urbanization, raising awareness on the importance of sustainable family-friendly urban policies. The report is presented from our studios.
Nations General Assembly in its resolution beginning from 1993 set aside the 15th of May every year to be observed globally by members as the International Day of Families. At this gathering are different families to mark this year's celebration. The aim of this event, organized by the Ondo State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, is to create awareness and increase knowledge on issues relating to the family as the base unit and building block of society, as it reflects on the importance attached to families. Wife of Ondo State Governor, Mrs. Betty Ayanwa Akeredolu, while speaking on the theme of this year's celebration, families and urbanization, harped on the importance of families in society development. Represented by the wife of the Deputy Governor, Mrs. Oluwaseun Ayedatiwa, the governor's wife called on Nigerians to dedicate this year's celebration to finding lasting solutions to issues affecting the survival and proper development of the family.
Banditry and terrorism as a nation can be linked to behavior of the family level. When families are disjointed, the chances of getting well-behaved children from such families are slim. While enjoying the peace of our growth and development, we cannot afford to neglect what is most important to us.
The Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Mrs. Juliana Oshadaun, said the family, being the bedrock of the society, must be well taken care of to put an end to the decadence that has pervaded society. Speaking on this year's theme, Families and Urbanization, resource person from Rufus Giwa Polytechnic, Mrs. Olanireti Alabi, urged families to monitor the activities of their children and words to safeguard them from committing crimes against humanity. According to her, government at all levels must mobilize resources towards improving the living standards of family while enhancing their quality of lives.
So our government is trying, even in the midst of scarce commodities, they are still trying their best. So we still want to employ them to please do more for us, for the family, by creating workable policies that will make the urban area more livable for all of us.
Highlight of the event was the celebration of 5 families, while awards were also given to the best dressed families.
Meanwhile, the people of Ondo State have been charged to complement government's efforts at purging society of gender-based violence. Resource persons reiterated the crusade against the abnormality at a 2-day orientation program organized by the Ondo State Agency Against Gender-Based Violence for the staff in Akure, the state capital. Joy Pius covered the training program.
Gender-based violence is a global problem. It is firmly rooted in inequality without gender exceptions. Towards overcoming the menace, the Ondo State Agency Against Gender-Based Violence organized a 2-day training to hone the skills of staff. The Executive Secretary of the agency, Bolanle Joao Ogundadigbe, reeled off the objectives of the agency and the importance of the meeting to the staff.
How to ensure effective service delivery, that is very important, that is very key. So in the course of rendering our services to the public, we should also ensure that we render our services with all seriousness, and we should be timely.
Addressing participants, wife of Ondo State Governor, Mrs. Betty Ayanwa Akeredolu, represented by the Senior Special Assistant to Governor Akeredolu on Gender, Research and Documentation, Mrs. Temitope Daniel, alongside the Special Advisor to Governor Akeredolu on Gender, Olamide Falana, said there is no justification for gender-based violence considering the emotional scars of victims, and urged the attendees to maximize the training against inhuman treatment.
To have the staff posted to work with this agency, this is a clearer call to the service of humanity. I implore you to work conscientiously as a team and build a formidable synergy.
We actually are in a position to drive change at the moment. If the state actually desires a state response to gender-based violence, it is this state response and this policy drive can only be liberated through our own activities.
Delivering a lecture on gender-based violence in Nigeria, its consequences, the perpetrators of the crime, and what should be done to eradicate the act in society. The resource person, Rita Ilevaye, called for public collaboration to fight the crime.
It is important that victims of gender-based violence have a place where they can be treated confidentially without molestation, and if possible, it should be free treatment. Then economic empowerment strategy, like we identified that poverty is one of the causative agents making women vulnerable.
Participants commended the initiative, saying it will help them in the discharge of their duties. Conversations generated from this training are expected to be expanded and disseminated across the state to nip the abuse in the bud. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
And to sport. Sunshine Stars Football Club are built to trade tackles with F&J FC of Akure in the quarter-final of Ondo State FA Cup competition. In a draw released by Ondo State Football Association, Sunshine Academy will lock arms with Ekimogun Football Club Ondo. Elsewhere, Akure City Academy will battle Prince Adebayo FC. Finalization will represent the state at the ATO Cup competition next month. And Ondo State table tennis players Amadi Ume and Taiwo Mati have lost their respective final games at the ITTF African Club Championship in Lagos. West African singles champion Mati lost in 3 sets to French star Anthony Ochal. Egypt's Ahmed Nadi got the better of Ume in a 3-2 win. The win successful ended Egypt's EMPPI Club their second title in as many years. NSCDC came from a set down to beat Ocean Front 3-2 in the women's final. And that's Sunshine Report. Thank you very much for watching. Good afternoon.